Good morning. Um, yeah, good morning. We had our Vision Day this past Saturday, and it went well. I was grateful for it. Um, we've got Grocery Bag Sunday that coming up. I went grocery shopping today. Got my extra groceries. I'm gonna say that was the reason why it was so expensive, rather than I probably bought some stuff that I didn't need, but not too much. It was reasonable. It was reasonable. But we're on my phone today because I was lazy and didn't want to find slash pick up and plug in my webcam, and I thought maybe I'd walk around. But I thought, oh, sorry, I knocked something over. Sorry, 1 second. All right, there we go. Um, but I shared earlier on I don't remember if it was the Sunday or the Sunday before. Uh, I shared a little bit about my experience with the idea of stewardship, um, and the idea of like caring for things, especially living things, and how that's different from caring for non-living things. Um, and in that we can, you know, money doesn't care if we invest it and sell it and buy it, and you do all these things back to back and whatever. Um, but when it comes to living things, whether they're other people or whether it's us or whether it's you know animals or even the microbes in the dirt, um like these processes, and us as people, we need rest, and there needs to be time to recoup and sustain, and that's an important part of stewardship. And I talked about my experience with fish and how that shaped that, and so I thought I'd share just a little bit more that I didn't get to share on Sunday. I've shared with you guys a fair amount about my journey with fish and stewardship. Uh, I um, There's one anecdote from I've been working to record an audiobook with Chuck Wilson, and there's a scene in his audiobook where he's recalling a party that he was at in high school, and he sees an intoxicated person walk past a large fish tank and dump some beer in, and the fish start flocking towards the sugary alcohols as they hit the water. And Chuck narrates that he'd sure be mad if somebody did that to his fish. And when I just like sitting there, with my headphones on, like pressing the record button, like heard that, I was like that makes me viscerally angry. Like just the idea of somebody doing something like that, and poisoning something that I or you know lives that I care deeply about, um, because I've taken care of them and gotten to know them, and somebody being reckless with that or treating that as a joke, um, and just the idea of how how that can reflect a healthy anger towards injustice in the world, and help us understand sometimes the like why God is a God of justice, and how God reacts when like people get hurt. Um, he doesn't take that out uh, on the rest of us because of Jesus, but um, there's healthy love there, and um, I'm trying to add another more specific story point. Um, I don't remember. That's not great. Oh, um, yeah. I This is something that I'm grateful and glad to share. Uh, I got a text from, this is still fish related. I got a text from my therapist the other week, um, and it was very scattered. Uh, it was basically some screenshots from a conversation she was having with somebody else, and it was somebody who had some betta fish that they were trying to find new homes for, and so she sent the information to me because she knew that I kept fish, and she knew that I cared about them and kept them well. Um, and uh, so she shared the gentleman's contact information and ended up reaching out. And the guy who was looking for new homes, he had some relationships with some of the local pet stores, and when a betta fish like was kind of was around for quite a few weeks, or and nobody had bought them, then he would come by and pick them up and try and find them a home and kind of rehabilitate them a little bit, because they may have one thing or another going wrong. And he had acquired a few, and they were kind of starting to just be a little bit more on his care load, so he was trying extra hard to find new homes for them. And I found this out because I asked a lot of questions back and forth to find out why they needed new homes, and um, uh, kind of see what was up with that. And it was funny. We asked questions back and forth, he and I, about basically feeling each other out and seeing if the other person was a responsible fish owner. Um, and when I sent pictures of the betta fish in some of the tanks that I had, and one of them, the betta, was in her like permanent home, which is the 29-gallon behind me, and um, the rest were in kind of like holding tanks because I had other places in mind for them. Um, and he checked in and he made sure, he was like, "Those aren't like their permanent homes, right?" And I was like, "No." Um, and one of the bettas that I've since given to my mother had an eye infection, or had an eye infection, and so her eye is displaced a little bit. And so I checked in. I asked. I was like, "Hey, like, do you think she has pop eye, which is, a bacterial infection usually that results in a fish's eye kind of getting popped to the side a little bit?" Um, and he was like, basically not anymore. I've treated her. She's doing well. She's fine. But that's just um, that's just physically how she is now. And so it was nice to be able to talk back and forth with someone and have uh, this shared appreciation and care for um, these fish or these living creatures. And the thing that, um, in one way or another, strikes me about this, and that helps me, um, I don't know, like feel positive or relate this to real life, is um, my counselor shared that person with me because, um, She knew that I cared a lot about fish and that um, I would take good care of and find good homes for uh, the fish that this other guy cared a lot about. And she knew me well, and uh, she knew me to have that reputation. She trusted me with one, just a friend of hers, and two, um, to care about what this person cared about. And it's the same way with people. Um, my counselor, she lives really close to Hickory, and um, her and her husband recently bought the house next to where they live, and started renting it out. And um, the person moved in, and we're getting settled, and it was a Thursday, and she asks, "Do you do you like volleyball?" Because they play at the church down the road. Um, and that's not the only time, but she has she's shared and sent people that she cares a lot about to Hickory because she's gotten to know me and she's gotten to know us through things like Good Neighbor Coffee and some of our other events. And she knows that we do good work and that, we love God, and um, that we're a good family. And so she trusts us with people that she cares about. She sends her own son to volleyball sometimes, or she sent her family to, I think, the pig picking that we had um, uh, either this year or the like barbecue that we had the year before. And um, like that's really beautiful. And I think that's a great, I'm blanking on the word, but metaphor or whatever of, um, when people know that we care and that we love people and that we treat people really well, then people will trust us with the people they love. And um, I'll invite just about any youth to youth group, and I'll invite just about anyone to volleyball. Um, or I'll invite just about anyone to evening service. Uh, and it's because I know and I trust the people in those places to take care of the people that I love. Um, and morning service, there's so many wonderful people at morning service, and I absolutely invite people there too. Um, but I left it out initially because of the, like, I don't know, the traditional nature, makes it pretty alien to a lot of people who are unchurched. Um, but that idea of, if people know I love people well, then people will trust that I won't, bring them, or I won't bring the people that they love into something harmful or something that's not safe. And that's one way that we can be um, be the church and change the church's reputation, because the church does not have a reputation of being a safe or kind or loving place. Um, and that reputation is super well earned, uh, for better or for much worse. Um, so we can, um, just like my counselor could, and that gentleman could trust me with some fish that were cared deeply about. When we show people how well we love and we show what kind of community we are, then people will trust us with the people they love. And that's one way that we grow and that we get to be the leaven working through the dough. So that's all. That wasn't super uh, fluid, but that's okay. Um, thank you guys very much. And I'll say a quick prayer and go into the rest of the day. Hey, God, please look after us as we go into our future endeavors. In your name, amen. All right.